It was at the strike of the hour, a knock at the door, or rather a ring of the doorbell. Who was it? Well, none other but a new character. This is the story of Tia Maria. Now, we need to go back to what happened at the end of the last episode, in which Jessica and Sarah were having a fight. Just after, there was a ring of the doorbell, and it was none other than this Tia Maria woman. Who was she? Where did she come from? God knows, but today we shall answer all those questions. Tia Maria came from a rough neighbourhood somewhere in Tia Mariashire, which we should note is a fake town just outside of London. She was named after the town and was a very poor and sickly girl. Her parents dropped her, yes, literally dropped her on the side of the road. Then an old, unstable woman in a brown rag picked her up and raised her. Tia Maria spoke roughly and modernly, despite her name being that of an old tongue. Tia Maria joined a boarding school in London. When she was 16, she met a 38-year-old man who she was madly in love with, called Professor Ridglington. Professor Ridglington was no ordinary professor, though. He was smart, brave, and cunning. It was just on a Friday, when Tia Maria was asking Professor Ridglington about the next homework assignment, when all of a sudden she wrapped her hands around his waist and began madly kissing him. He enjoyed it. They stood there that whole time kissing. A month later she proposed, and a week later they got married at Westminster Abbey. She was 16, he was 38, and nothing could stop them. Many years passed, and Tia Maria was now 38, and Professor Ridglington was now 60. Tia Maria, however, had no children, but then all of a sudden she heard crying outside her 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom mansion in the countryside. Professor Ridglington was standing next to an elderly woman wearing a brown rag, holding a newborn child. Professor Ridglington then saw her.
"It's not what it looks like."
"I believe you,"
Tia Maria said, but then she realized everything that happened. And the woman was the woman who raised Tia Maria, and it was exactly what it looked like. A bitterly silence befell of them before Professor Ridglington spoke his next words.
"I didn't know," Professor Ridglington said, with an evil smile, almost like he did.
A week later, they were in a divorce lawyer's office and began the filing process. Then a year passed, and Tia Maria got some sad news. Professor Ridglington had died at the bitterly age of 61 after he supposedly ingested the child. And who fed him the child? A letter to her said exactly what happened. "Go to New York and find Sarah and Jessica. They might know who did this to me and why."
"How the hell did this happen?"
she said, looking at her telephone. She had no idea, but was now ready to get things done. The next flight that left heading for New York City, you can bet she was on it, and this is, of course, where Sarah and Jessica come into this story. It was in the apartment when there was a ring of the doorbell, just after Sarah and Jessica were having a little brawl.
"Jessica, I can't believe you. You let me stay here and now you betray me like that. You're a good for nothing. Then you party like a complete idiot at night."
"No, Sarah, you're the idiot here and now, I am sure. Now I'm positive of it. I let you squat in my apartment out of hope that you and your child would be free from whatever it is you were running from. And now look where that has gotten you." Dong, oh my, sorry, we can continue brawling later, hello?
The doorbell rung. Tia Maria had found the people who could have been killers, but she felt a strange sense of trust for them. She saw she could find the answers she so desperately seeked.
"Hi, I'm Jessica, and this is Sarah, my roommate. Can I help you?"
"Yes, I think you can. You see, my ex-husband just died and, well, to put it simply, he sent me here because he claims you might know something to do with it."
Sarah then asked,
"Who is your ex-husband?"
"Professor Ridglington. Why do you know him?"
Sarah was filled with remorse. She let out a somber sigh, then said the needful.
"Professor Ridglington is the father of my child, I didn't think."
A deafening silence happened before it was finally interrupted by Jessica.
"I thought you didn't want to talk about it."
"Well, now that it has come up, I guess I have no choice. So, Ms. whatever your name is, how long have you been married to him?"
"Oh, please call me Tia Maria, and it was 22 years almost, but we're divorced now."
He was a cheater, and the reason why was sure to shock everyone. Sarah began to explain, and it all became clear what had happened. how he was a cheater and what was going on really was crazy.
He may have been married to you, but only to keep his money and power. In reality, he dated and fathered many children in his lifetime, all in search for one thing, an heir to his throne, which would be worthy in war. He wanted his children to fight. You were the powder keg for all this. But if you need to know the true and powerful reason behind all this, it's simple. It's all because of Shaniqua. Shaniqua was the reason why he cheated.
Well, who is Shaniqua?
And that you will find out in the next episode.
So of course join us next week for the final installment of this series. And as usual, do not forget to like and subscribe.